2023 has been a crazy year. So many changes are happening to real estate and mortgage, especially with all the banks crashing, interest rates going crazy, inflation out of control. Now, mortgage programs have changed. They changed the way you look at FHA loans and they changed the way you look at conventional loans. And tonight, we are going to go through all the updates and changes that the government and the government and the banks have done to conventional and FHA loan. Because of the changes, you might want to think twice before picking a loan program you want to go with. What's going on, guys? My name is Min Win with What's a Mortgage. Welcome to our channel. The goal of our channel is to simplify home ownership. If it's your first time tuning in, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe or notification button so you are notified every time we go live or post new content. We go live every Monday night on Facebook and YouTube at 8 p.m. and we post content daily on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're not following us on our other platforms, please go ahead and do so. Tonight, we are going to go over the changes that FHFA has made to conventional loans and the new changes that Joey B made to FHA loans. And we're going to see which program a first-time home buyer should go with. Also, if you make it to the end, we're going to go over a little bit about the California Dream Program. Right? With the Cal HFA Dream Program, it's going to help buyers put 20% down on buying a home in California. Okay, I'm going to do the breakdown of the program another day. Today, I'm just going to give you a little sample. All right, guys? So thank you for everyone who's tuned in. Also, if this video brings you any content, do me a huge favor. Please like this video and tag someone on it that you know is interested in becoming a homeowner. All right, guys, a lot of changes are happening. So, of course, in the beginning of this year, FHFA released an update saying that they are going to change the way they grade conventional loans. It's going to be different on how to qualify for them and what the interest rates will be like. A couple months after that, Joey B, if you don't know who that is, Joe Biden did make an announcement. We need to make changes to FHA loan to make payments more affordable for FHA homebuyers. So let's get into it, guys. Conventional and FHA updates. So on conventional loans, there are something called the loan level pricing adjustments. So they're changing the way they grade conventional loans. So when you buy a conventional loan, they are making huge changes. Changes that might not make sense to you. So I'm going to tell you the changes, and I'm going to tell you my conspiracy theory on why they're making these changes. Blow it up, big screen. See here, give me 1 second, guys. So if you look here on this conventional, these are something called loan level pricing adjustments. So when you get a loan, these adjustments add onto your rate. So they don't increase your rate, but let's say whatever the rate was paying the lender, they might have to increase it to cover these costs. Okay. So if you look at this loan level pricing adjustments, you might want to think twice about putting in a bigger down payment. Blow it up again. So as you look here, let me see this mouse moves. On this side, Andy. So if you look here, on 5% down, 740 credit score, there's a hit of 0.5%. Look now, with a bigger down payment, with 20% down or 15% down, it's 0.875 added to the rate, or 1%. Why would anyone put in a bigger down payment when a lower down payment, you get hit with a lower risk adjustment, right? I made this video on my reel and people went crazy. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me either. But these are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's new loan level pricing adjustment update. Lee, I'll answer that question in a second. Does that make sense? Leave me a comment below. How does this make sense? The person that makes sacrifices, that works hard to save a bigger down payment, is paying a higher interest rate. And here's the second thing I want you to look at, which they just added. Let's see the next one. Actually, next one. Next slide. Next slide, okay? Look at the debt to income ratio here. See that debt to income ratio right here? Before, there wasn't an adjustment for debt to income ratio over 40%. Look at this. There's a 3/8 added on. 3/8 added on, depending on how much you put down. You got to put 30%, 40, almost 40% down. okay? They have no adjustments if your debt to income ratio is over 40%. Blow back into my face. So now, on putting in a bigger down payment, okay, if your debt to income ratio is already over 40%, they're hitting you again. How is this possible where they're making it more expensive for you to go with a conventional loan? And here's my conspiracy theory behind it. They know if you put in a bigger down payment and you have a low debt to income ratio, right? Or you have a high debt to income ratio, they know you're going to refinance in the future. And they know rates will eventually pull back. As you guys know, interest rates are high right now because inflation's at what? 6%? As you know, as inflation comes down, so will mortgage rates. And you know, we're not letting inflation stay at 6%. The feds are going to fight to bring it down. So they know these interest rates are temporary, okay? I know some people, some trolls, oh, it can't be temporary. If inflation was 2% and rates were 6%, I can see rates not going down. But if inflation's at 6% and they're trying to bring inflation back to 2%, you know mortgage rates will go down in the future. Because of that, people with bigger down payments and higher DTIs will probably refinance into a lower rate. So they're going to try to get you, they are going to try to get you right now because they know you're refinancing sooner than later. People with lower down payments might not have enough equity to refinance. So that's probably why they're not hitting them so hard right now, because they know they're going to keep the loan for longer and they're going to make that money on interest. When you change from one loan to another refinance, that loan is gone. So whoever's bought that loan, they're not going to make their profits. So they rather hit you right now and make their money. This is just my conspiracy theory, because I don't know why they would charge someone with a bigger down payment a higher interest rate, which make no sense. Okay, so that's the first change I want you to focus on as you're thinking about buying a home with a conventional loan. If you're putting less than 10% down, I would think twice about going conventional. Okay, so before I get into FHA, another thing FHFA did, which I actually think is cool, some people might not, they're gonna make it harder for investors to buy property. So this window for first-time home buyers when rates pull back will increase, okay? There's a higher chance you're gonna be able to get a home because they're gonna make it more expensive, right, to buy with an investment home or a Airbnb or vacation home, okay? And let's look at it really quick. So back then, before March, the adjustments, no, going back to this one again. Back in March, they made changes where before March, if you bought an investment property, there was a risk adjustment of 3% on a investment property. They raised it. Let's pull it up. 4.125. Look at this investment hit right here. So if you were buying an investment property, you're going to get hit 4 1/8. 4 1/8. 4 1/8. You would need 25% down or more to get hit 3.375. So that adjustment will increase. That means you're either going to pay a higher, which means you are going to pay a higher interest rate to buy an investment property. And you're probably going to have to pay more out of pocket to buy an investment property. So investors will probably have to go back and redo their numbers because with a higher interest rate, it might not make sense to buy that investment property, especially on the higher end, okay? So I think because of this, mom and pop investors, the smaller ones, are going to think twice before buying that investment property because it might not make sense for them to come out of pocket more, and they might not cash flow positive with a higher rate. That means for you, Mr. or Mrs. Primary Resident Buyer, we just knocked out a little bit of competition. Okay, so the new rules, yes, it is going to affect conventional buyers, but you can probably go FHA, which we'll go over in a second. But now you're not dealing with that mom and pop buyer who's going to try to step in and buy. It might not cash flow for them, and it might be too expensive. Now, let's talk about the Airbnb. For everyone who's like, I'm going to buy my vacation home in Palm Springs or Big Bear or somewhere where I can live in it for a couple days a year and then turn it into a rental property and make it an Airbnb. So they used to treat vacation homes as owner-occupied, where you can put in 10% down, and you can get an owner-occupied interest rate. But starting March, go slide. Let's go back up. Here we go. Full screen. So investment home, right here. 4 1/8 hit. You can't go 5% down, by the way. This is Fannie Mae should have updated this. Oh, why is it doing this? Why can't I highlight it? Okay, here we go. Ah. 1 second, guys. Well, you guys can see second home. Fix this here. Give me 1 second here, guys. Wonder why that is.
Yeah, it's fine. Just
okay.
That'll
Okay, so second home right here, 4 1/8 hit. See right here, 4 1/8. Oh man, this is like busted. So this 4 1/8 hit right here. It used to be treated like an owner-occupied home, but that's not the case anymore. So when you're buying a vacation home, unlike investment, people want vacation homes so they can put a lower down payment. But now, what's the use of putting a lower down payment when the interest rate's higher and you can't use rental income to help you qualify? When you buy a vacation home, you have to qualify with your current mortgage and the vacation home. Now with the higher interest rate, okay, and the higher costs, people might think twice about buying a home for Airbnb or a vacation home. So that means you're gonna knock out more buyers to compete with as a primary residence. So even though these new rules are changing it, making it a little more pricier for people to go with the conventional loan, but with FHFA, they knocked out some investment buyers and some second home buyers. So now as a primary resident buyer, you're dealing with hedge funds and maybe someone buying to upgrade to their next home. You're not really dealing with finance buyers going investment now. Unless they want to go with a non-qualified mortgage, which is a different story, you're going to squeeze out some competition. So that should ease off some pain as rates pull back for you to buy your primary residence, okay? So with conventional, there's one rule that might help out, which is the loan level, the pricing adjustment, the waiver, which they will waive all those risk adjustments if you make under 100% of the area median income for only owner occupied. This is not for investment or second home. If you are buying a home with a conventional loan and you are below 100% of the area median income, which you look it up on Fannie Mae's median income lookup tool, type in the address, and if the address pops up and you're below 100% of that, they will waive the loan level pricing adjustments. So you will actually get a better rate if you make under 100%. So that's the only saving grace for anyone who wants to go conventional, okay? And they don't want all those risk adjustments to jack up their interest rates. Remember, this is for owner occupied, not for investment or second home. So those are the big changes they made to conventional loans, okay? Bigger down payments, you're gonna pay a higher interest rate unless you're putting 35, 40% down, okay? Also, the debt to income ratio, there used to be no adjustments. Those adjustments just got added. With these adjustments, it's gonna force people, primary residents, to go with an FHA loan. We'll go over that in a second. And with investment buyers and second home buyers, it's probably going to squeeze out a lot of small time buyers because they're not going to cash flow positive with all these new adjustments, all right? And all the costs for buying second home investment when they can use that money for renovations. So those are the changes they made to conventional loan. Now let's talk about FHA, and then we're going to do a breakdown. For everyone who's from California, I would stay for the Cal Dream program, all right? Which we'll go over after we go over FHA and some scenarios. Let's go over FHA now. So FHA, biggest change. If you are putting under 5% down, your monthly PMI went from 0.85 to 0.55. If you're going more than 5% down, you're gonna go with you're gonna get a 0.50, okay? 0.50 here, 0.50, right? 0.50. If you're gonna go, so you will pay less if you put 5% down or more, right? 5% down or more, you will pay less. So as you're out there with the lower PMI, you might, I'm freezing, is it freezing? Yeah. Is it freezing? Okay, with the lower PMI, it's gonna be worth going FHA. Even with really good credit, now you have a lower rate with FHA because there's no risk adjustment and you have the lower PMI, okay? If there weren't all those adjustments to conventional was a cheaper payment. As I always believe, conventional 5% down, 740 was the better payment, but that has changed. So this already taken into effect, even though they're not going to apply it till like the end of this month. They're already taken into effect right now. If you are closing with an FHA loan, as long as they insure the case number after this month, you're fine, which a lot of lenders are doing. So I wouldn't stress about it too much. So with the changes, you might want to think twice and go FHA if you're putting less than 10% down. With 10% down, I'll show you the numbers in a second, where you have the lower interest rate, the lower PMI. With the lower interest rate, when you make a mortgage payment, more of that payment will go towards principal than interest. So if right now inflation is out of control, you will eventually refinance. Talk to a lender, see the payments. Even with the upfront mortgage insurance, it still might be worth going with an FHA and refinancing down the road when rates pull back or you have tons of equity. If you are in a market that is a buyer's market, you might want to get the seller to pay off your upfront mortgage insurance. Well, with upfront mortgage insurance, shouldn't FHA be more expensive? Let's find out. Scenario number one. So now let's pull this up big time, big screen. So scenario number one, conventional versus FHA, okay? If conventional today, you had a $600,000 home and you put 5% down on a conventional with a 740 credit score, okay, 740, and your interest rate today would be 6.875 on a conventional loan with an APR of 7.086, your total out of pocket, 42 grand. Your total mortgage payment, 4678. Okay. FHA, $600,000 purchase price, 660 credit score. So you're being rewarded with the lower credit, 660. 3.5% down, full screen. Loan amount is larger because you got to add the upfront PMI, 589, 132 and 50 cents. Your interest rate, 6%. Your APR, 6.414. Your total out of pocket, 33,000. So you're 9,000 less on conventional. Take that money, wipe out some debt or something. Total payment with PMI, 4521. Bam. You are going to save $157 a month and save yourself $9,000 with a 660 FHA, 3.5% down compared to a 740, 5% down. I'm telling you guys, this is butt backwards, right? Butt backwards. This makes no sense to me, but this is reality right now, right? $157. Use that $9,000, do some renovations. Use that $9,000, pay off some debt. Wow, huh? Now let's look at 5% down FHA versus 5% down conventional. Remember, with the new changes, 5% down FHA has a lower PMI. So let's pop this up again. So with the $600,000 purchase, conventional, 5% interest rate, 570 loan amount, 6.875, 7.086. Look at the $42,000 out of pocket. Look at this payment, $4678. Now let's look at the FHA, $600,000 loan amount, 5% down. So you want to compare apples to apples. Your loan amount is bigger, $579,975, 6% rate, APR 6.413. Total out of pocket is the same, $42,000. Okay. Look at the mortgage payment, $4438. You're going to save yourself $240 a month. $240 a month. Does that make any sense, guys? 740 conventional versus 5% down, 660 FHA. It does not make any sense to me. So I would go back to my lender and have them run the numbers. It blew my mind when I ran the numbers for our buyers. I'm like, hey, you know what? If monthly payment is what you need to save money on right now, FHA might be the goal, even though with the upfront MI, you know, your loan amount is bigger, but let's see to get the seller to pay some of this upfront, pay the upfront MI. Okay. And get yourself an FHA, lower payment. And then when you refinance, we'll get you in the conventional when rates pull back. Remember, on a conventional loan, when there's enough equity, the PMI falls off. Let's say rates pull back, but you don't have 20% equity. Go conventional and get the PMI to fall off. Or keep making your FHA payments as a lower rate and you chip away at more principal. There's a lot you can do. Trust me, I ride or die conventional until all the new rules just changed. Now, check this out. You ready to see the big one? 10% down conventional, 740 credit score versus 5% down FHA. Let's pull this up. This made me sick to my stomach, but it is what it is. Conventional, $600,000 purchase, 10% down, $540,000 loan amount. Interest rate 6.875. Okay. APR 7.097. Total out of pocket 72 grand. Total monthly mortgage payment 4470. 4470. Now let's look at FHA. $600,000 purchase price. 5% down. Loan amount $579, $975. The upfront MI. Rate 6%. APR 6.413. Total out of pocket. Look at this. $42,000. That's a $30,000 difference. Total monthly mortgage payment $44.38. $44.38. That's a $32 difference. Wow, $42 difference still with a 5% down conventional loan. Does that make any sense to you? You're going to save yourself $30,000 and $32 a month. I don't get it. This is 740, 10% down versus 5% down, 660. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel about that. That made me like, you know, I'm that kid that did good in school, okay? I played by the rules. So imagine the person that got good credit, saved a big down payment, sacrificed, lived at home with their parents. And now with the new changes, they're paying the same thing with a 660, 5% down. It is insane. What could you do with an extra $30,000? $30,000. You can wipe out all your debt and have the same payment. You can buy down the interest rate. You can buy out the PMI. There's a lot you can do with an extra $30,000 or save it, wait for the refinance and do a principal reduction. Okay? There's a lot you can do. And when I put this video out, everyone thought I was fear-mongering, telling people because conventional's getting crazy. I'm not fear-mongering anyone. It's in the loan level pricing adjustment. You can go to Fannie Mae's website and pull that thing up. Okay? These are the crazy changes that are happening. So, of course, if you go above 10% down with a bigger down payment, cheaper PMI, it might be worth going conventional. But talk to a lender. 10% down or less, how my family would roll is I would go FHA all day long. Okay? Crazy, huh? So, hopefully this information helps you out. Let me know in the comments if you want to see conventional versus FHA and you want to see what's up. Compare your scenario. Give us a call. 714-790-9697. Go, Min, am I the crazy one who's thinking about going conventional? Let's find out, right? Or, hey, should I go FHA? Some people's scenario, conventional might be better for them, but we won't know. Let's say you don't have the loan level pricing adjustments because you're under 100% of the AMI. You might want to go conventional, but you will only find out until you run the payments, okay? Email us, info@what'samortgage, send us a call, send us a text, or DM us, okay? We'll go over everyone's scenario in a second. Does that make sense? So before I go over Q&A, let's go over the California Dream, all right? The California Dream for All program update. So the word on the street, it is released March 26th to March 27th. The final guidelines are not out yet. I know the basic foundation, but things can change, so I'm waiting for the last 10%. But they follow so far Cal HFA guidelines, except for how much equity they're going to share with you. So the Dream for All program is a down payment assistance program. You pay no interest on the 20% down. But when you sell your home or refinance, you have to pay back the down payment that you lend at 0% interest and 20% of the equity that you gain. They are sharing your profits with you, okay? Now, let's see how it works. So for example, can we blow this up and make it bigger? Okay, so let's say you bought a home for 500 grand. They're gonna loan you 100 grand. So your loan amount's 400 grand, okay? So in 5 years, I'm just throwing out a number. That doesn't mean these numbers are the final numbers. Your home is worth 640. Okay. They're gonna take 20% of 140,000, which is 28 grand. You still get to keep 112 grand. Don't forget, you still got to pay back that 28 grand plus the 100 grand you borrow. Okay. I know I don't want to share equity. Then player, use your own money. This is the window again, besides the window, knocking out these investment buyers and these vacation home buyers for you who want to live in California and you cannot save a bigger down payment or you can't afford a higher payment. This is your chance. I'm going to do a buyer seminar. Write these dates down. We're going to confirm it again. If you want to be the first, you want to deal with a lender that knows what's up, that's patient, that can help guide you through this in California, April 6th, we are doing a buyer seminar with my boy Ray Marquez, right? He's all about these college FAs. And on April 20th, I'm going to do it with Scott Cato, okay? So I'm doing it twice, April 6th and April 20th, okay? We will have a link for you to register, but you're like, man, I want to get on that pre-list. I want you to approve me now. I want to go on that new pre-list. Send us a text message, say, send me that text, say new, N-E-W, new. Give me that new, right? If you can give me that new, we'll get you with one of our LOs. We'll go over the different strategies with you, okay? But we'll get you on that April 6th list, okay? If you want to get on that new list, send us a text, send us a DM, new, okay? We'll get you on that new program that comes out. But it's a great program. If struggling for down payment is your biggest struggle, this might be for you. Also, let's say you want to qualify for more home. Getting 20% down would help. By the way, the difference between 5% down versus 20% down is about $800 a month. So you might want to look into this program, okay? All right, guys. If you enjoyed the content, leave me a comment below. Hey, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, let's get some Q&A, okay? Let's go to the top. What up, Vanessa? What up, Rebecca? Lee, hi, bro. Is it a good time to buy or should I wait? Haven't done my homework yet. Just quick question. Lee, this is my answer to you. Is it a good time for you to buy a home? That's the question you want to ask yourself. If you are self-employed and you need your cash right away and spending it, I probably wouldn't buy a home. If you're a day trader starting out, you haven't established your income yet, do not buy a home. If you can make more money than leaving it in a home to appreciate, don't buy a home. Here's my example. Let's say you want to buy a $600,000 home and you want to put 10% down, right? I'm just make my life easy with numbers. 10% down, closing costs, you're out of pocket $80,000. If you had $80,000, okay, and it's sitting wherever you're using to make money, is it making you more than, let's say homes appreciate 3% a year on a $600,000 home? Is that $80,000 making you more than 18 grand a year? If your $80,000 is making you more than 18 grand a year and it compounds, then I probably wouldn't buy a home, Lee. So if you are starting out as a day trader and you need your cash flow, self-employed, you need your cash flow right now, or you are putting away your 80 grand is making you more than 18 grand a year, do not buy a home. But if you qualify to buy a home and you don't need your money right away because home ownership is a long-term investment, and you can't figure out how you can take $80,000 to make 18 grand a month, and you want to stay living in the area that you're renting right now, that nice area you're renting, then buy a home, okay? That's the honest truth. So those are the two categories. And whatever category you fall into, Lee, that's how you should make your decision. Because the longer you wait to buy, you're gonna get priced out of the market. But if you buy right now and you need that cash flow to make you more money, you're not gonna make it tied up in a home. So it depends on the situation you're in, all right? Was that a good answer, guys? Hopefully that's an answer I would tell my son. Hey, hopefully that helps you out. Joe, I would do a temporary buy down because you know inflation's at 6%. And as they get inflation to pull back, at least the next year or two, then you can lower the rate. I would only do a temporary one, okay? Crazy, right? There you go, Mark. Thank you so much, Andy. Gus, crazy, but help the people who need the help. People doing 10% down plus down payment do not need extra help. Dang, I think everyone needs help, Goose. I think people save, you know, they make sacrifices to save that 10% down. Franco Aguirre, regarding FHA, is it easily accepted by sellers, or are you losing opportunity to purchase through FHA or not go conventional? So Franco, If you have the assets in your bank account, they don't care. I'm going FHA, but I have enough to go conventional. So I'm just going FHA for the cheaper payment, but here's the rest of my down payment. All right. Hopefully that helps you out. What up, Marco? I'm buying a new development that it will be done July 24. Should I try to get seller credit or on upgrades, or should I try to get them to buy down my interest rate? FY, if I go with their lender, I can float down my rate. Marco, I would do the float down anyways, and if you have to pay it out of pocket, pay it out of pocket. I would use their lender. Okay, do the float down, and if rates pull back in January, which you should, grab the lower rate. Okay, come out of pocket with a little bit extra money, Marco. If you bought in the earlier phases, I would lock up that house. Okay. Circo, so Cal HFA is taking 20% of the equity. Yes, they are. Thank you so much, Priscilla. Thank you so much, Isaac. They're taking 20% because they're loaning you the money. If you can buy the home and you don't need the money, then you get to keep your 20%. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. All right, guys. I really appreciate everybody who asked questions. I thank you so much for everyone who commented. If I did bring you value tonight, do me a huge favor. Follow me on YouTube. I need the help on YouTube. We're almost at 11,000 followers on YouTube. My Instagram, TikTok, we jamming. Okay. If you do believe in What's a Mortgage, and if I brought you value, I'm going to ask you tonight, follow me on Facebook. Go to youtube.com/What's a Mortgage, and please follow us. I would really appreciate it. Okay. All right, guys. Remember, April 6th, April 20th, we are going to do a buyer seminar on the Cal Dream program. We're going to get to details, examples, breakdown, everything you need to do to qualify and get this home with this loan. All right, guys, we want to end all our episodes with our attitude is gratitude. Without you, there is no us. Thank you guys so much.